right, welcome you guys to another episode of Kickback with 555. I am your host, Chineza Ratnik, visionary of 555 Society, where education, motivation, and collaboration manifest success. And today, my guest is the one and only Ruby D. Welcome. So I
Oh,
know our group members know you as our group expert, one of our experts. But for those that don't, and I always start with this question, who is Ruby D and what is your superpower? And when I say that, I mean, what do you offer to the world?
yes. Well, thank you for having me here. And I am bubbly. I am peace. I am love. I am always excited. I love traveling. I love having fun. I love singing. I love dancing. I love karaoke. So I'm a whole vibe, a whole little vibe.
The whole vibe.
Um, and that's pretty much what I would consider my superpower. Um, I'm a Scorpio, so I can be, you know, a mean person, but for the most part, I prefer to be, you know, happy, to be, in a good mood, and hopefully pass that energy on to other people so that we can always have, a good time and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, all right. So I checked out your website and I see that and I want to make sure I say it correctly. You are the goddess entrepreneur. So
Yeah.
how did this title come about?
It actually came from a close friend. Well, at the time, I considered him a close friend, and just the way that I was, my personality, he always referred to me as that, and I always referred to myself as that because I just feel like what we refer to ourselves as, then that's we act accordingly, and that's how we carry ourselves, and I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I enjoy working for myself, so I kind of just put the two together, and that's how I came up with it.
All right. And you're a full-time entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that journey. Like how did you always know you wanted to be an entrepreneur and how long have you been a full-time entrepreneur?
Yeah, I've always known that's what I wanted to do because me and working for other people just doesn't gel. But even when I was working a full-time job, I was still a really good employee with a really good work ethic. But I just knew that I would have to apply that same energy to my own businesses or anything else that I wanted to do. So let's see. Even when I first started working after I graduated from college, I've always had a business of some sort on the side. Um, but I officially went full time May 2016, about 6 months after I had started Artistics Natural Body Care. And I have been loving it ever since then. Um, and it really happened. One thing that really pushed me towards working for myself was at the time I was living in Florida, and I think my mom and my sister or my family or something like that, they were planning a trip or it was something back home, and I had put in vacation time
Hmm.
and it got denied, even though it was available. And I'm like, why are you denying the time if it's there?
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? If I was working for myself, I wouldn't have this problem. So that was pretty much one of the things that really, pushed me in that direction. Like, you can either continue to ask, can you live your life, or you can do what you feel like you need to do in order to move in that direction so you can be able to take off when you want to, spend time with your family and stuff like that. So that's how that went.
Yeah. I think we have a lot in common there because I'm the same. I've always known I was going to be an entrepreneur, even when I was like 6 and 7, my mom would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? I just knew that I was going to be doing something at home. And I
Mhm.
think it's because I grew up with a lot of entrepreneurs, all of my great grandmother, my grandmother, and my mom worked full time, but she always had a side hustle as well.
Mhm.
So it was kind of what I thought we're supposed to do. And I'm the same way. I was a really good employee, but I don't really like having people over me that have control over my life. And I was a single mother, so there was times where my daughter had really bad asthma, childhood asthma, and they would give me a hard time about taking her to the doctor. And I remember one of my managers told me, "Can't you find time outside of work to take her to the doctor?" It's like, well, what doctor's office is open before 8 a.m. and after 5 p.m.? And
Mhm.
should she just not have an asthma attack during working hours?
Right.
So I've never done good with that. And I don't like asking permission to do anything. Like, I will tell you I need time off, but you can't tell me I can't take it. Like, that's just crazy.
Right. Like you gave it to me to use it for this purpose.
Purpose. Yeah, so I feel you there. So 2016, wow, it's been a long time. So you're like me, I could never even imagine going back.
Me either. I'm like, anytime I'm like close to the point, like maybe, nope, you know what? Let me straighten up. Let me do a little bit more marketing. Let me change some things around.
Right.
Like,
So you have two businesses.
yeah, mainly. I have Ruby D Artistry, and then I have Artistics.
All right, so let's break them down, both of them, so the audience knows exactly what you do. So you said it's artistic.
Artistics, natural body care. Um, yeah, so Ruby D Artistry is like um my main company that everything that I do falls under. Um, and pretty much that came about when I first moved to Florida. I was um I was like, I need to find a hobby because I didn't have any family there and I didn't know anybody, but I needed to find something to do. So I got into makeup and then I went to aesthetic school. So I am a licensed esthetician in the state of Florida. And then from there, that's what pushed me to start Artistics Natural Body Care. Um, while um, going to school and building that company, research, ingredients, products, and all of that, then that whole process started me to writing my book series, The Goddess Grind. So um, it took me maybe about 2 years to write the first 4 books in that series. So Ruby D Artistry is pretty much all of my like my service based things that I do, such as like any business coaching or I'm a Reiki master. So like if I decide to do services that are connected to that, then that falls under Ruby D Artistry. Me being an author, me being a speaker, all of that falls under Ruby D Artistry. And then of course, Artistics Natural Body Care is all of the skincare, the um mentoring anybody that's interested in starting a skincare company, private labeling, that type of thing.
Okay, okay. So, and last month, I believe it was, you were our guest speaker in the 555 Society group, and you discussed the professional chakra system, right?
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask you, why do you feel it's important to maintain a balanced chakra as an entrepreneur?
Ooh, uh, there are a number of reasons that we should, but the main thing is I know how hard it can be to fluctuate as far as the finances that are incoming, because of course we don't get that um, weekly lump sum or that biweekly lump sum or that monthly lump sum. And sometimes when you're used to getting, you know, money daily from orders, and then it all of a sudden starts to fall off and you're trying to figure out why. You can't really be in a space where you're not mentally, emotionally, and energetically prepared to handle those periods of time. Sometimes that happens because we have to go back and do some research and say, hey, what worked, what's no longer working? Okay, let me change some things that I'm doing. Let me set up some automation type things. Let me find something different. And sometimes it may just be you need to work on yourself to prepare yourself for that next level. And the reason that, you may have had a drop in the number of orders that you're getting is because you're being forced to take that time to pretty much level up to prepare for where it is that you want to go. So yeah, it's important to be able to recognize when that's happening as opposed to feeling like you're failing, this isn't working, and then not following through on the plan that you set forth as far as, being a full-time entrepreneur and feeling like this is a sign that this isn't working. That's not what that always is.
Yes, yes. Girl, you are speaking to me. I feel like I get into those lulls, I guess I'll call it, or that transition period. And it always takes me a while to realize it. And I
Mm-hmm.
go through that feeling of maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Now I quit my corporate job in 2014. So almost what, 9, 10 years almost. And I'll still get in this feeling of maybe I made the wrong decision. Like, do I
Mm-hmm.
need to go back out here and find a job? And I will be so hard on myself. And then God will drop something on my plate, like, or he'll give me a sign like, girl, I'm just trying to get you to level up here. I'm just trying to show you that something new is coming, or
Right.
get you to just sit down for a minute, because we get so busy sometimes working in our business instead of on our business
Mm-hmm.
that you're not focusing on the fact that you could be, adding another service, or you could
Right.
be changing the whole way you do your service to make more money or something like that. So it normally takes me a little while though of depression and talking to people. And if you talk to non-entrepreneurs, they quick to tell you, girl, maybe you need to get a job.
That part. And then, sometimes when that happens, it's we have to, and I'm sorry about the train. We
Yes.
right here next to it. But sometimes when that happens, it's because you've evolved and your business no longer matches what who you are and what you are. And sometimes we don't even recognize that. And so we may need to bring our business to where we are to properly reflect who we are at the moment and the growth that's taken place from the last time you've grown as a business owner, as an individual, and things like that. So a number of reasons why it's important to be aware
Yeah.
of what's going on.
So do you have any tips on how, like, someone like me could be more aware of that earlier instead of, beating yourself up for a month or two?
Um, yeah, I got a bunch of tips, but and that's kind of like one of the services that I offer when I'm offering it because I don't do it all the time. But I will say with this question, I can really give a very general answer, which that's what I'm going to give. But I always encourage people to, seek out services like this to get more specific answers. Once we've had a more in-depth conversation about, your business and the history and things like that. But
Yeah.
in general, I always recommend that when you get to that point to just kind of stop, and instead of speaking negatively, then begin to speak positive affirmations about what it is that you want to manifest within your business. Because
Mm,
sometimes we really just need that positive reinforcement from ourselves.
yeah.
Um, Even though it doesn't come in as the form of people booking services with us or people buying products from us. It's just like everybody is not meant to be our customer or our client, And that could be at that particular time, instead of attracting something or people that you really don't want to work with, or all money is not good money.
Hmm.
Just kind of, stop, speak those positive affirmations, and eventually those orders are going to start coming back in. People are going to start booking those services again. In addition to speaking positive affirmations, just also view that as an opportunity to be creative, or be sort of like an adventure with your business. Try something new, try something absolutely different, because we can get so complacent in um, what we've been doing for so long. And it's just like, we don't have to always stay within the same box. It's always okay to step outside of that, give yourself the opportunity to add some excitement, to the
Hmm.
relationship between you and your business, spice it up a little bit and say, hey, well, let me try this and let me try that. And it's just basically just not focusing on the negative side of it, just not allowing yourself to focus on that so much that you can't even focus on ways to grow your business. You're
Yeah.
too busy breaking yourself down and speaking negatively and things like that. So
Yeah.
the positive affirmations and always staying um, positive
Hmm.
through those particular types of moments.
Yeah. Because what you put out is what you'll get back. Definitely.
Exactly.
So you said you named a lot of things you like to do. You like to travel, you like to dance, you like to. So how do you juggle all of this? How do you juggle being a wife, being the goddess entrepreneur, running a skincare line, as well as finding time to do the things that you love and that self care that you need to keep going? How do you do it?
Pretty much, I just do it. I mean, I don't ever look at it as if, oh my God, I can't do this or I can't do that. It's just like, if that's what you want to do and that's gonna make you happy, then why not do it? Um,
Okay.
and that's pretty much as simple as it is.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. So you're traveling right now, actually. So when you travel, when you go on vacation, do you stop all business, or do you take your laptop with you and you're working at the same time?
Now, I pretty much stop all business. And the reason I do that is because it's important to totally disconnect. Just like any owner of a big business, they take their vacations, they take their time away. But um, the main reason I like to disconnect is it gives you the full opportunity to be open to receiving what's going to come during that time. Because it's been, several occasions where I've been on a cruise and I've gotten a business idea, and basically a whole idea, plan, how to follow through with it and everything while I'm traveling. Whereas if I was still, focused on running the business, I may not have, fully grasped the concept, or I may have missed it totally.
Yeah.
So, that goes hand in hand with getting ample rest as a full-time entrepreneur. I'm not team no sleep at all. I take all my naps. I get all my sleep, all my rest,
Not
all
all
that
the
is due
naps.
to me. So when I'm on vacation, that falls within that. And it's just like, if I get an idea, I get an idea. If I don't, I don't. Then I just come home and I'm energized about working again. I'm refreshed. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And that helps to push me, through to the next vacation. So it's just like,
Yeah.
an a re-energizing of my battery, my entrepreneurial battery.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I have a trip planned for next week. I'm so excited. And I think this is the only time that I really disconnect is when I go on retreats with my sorority sisters.
Hmm.
And because I need to get better with that. Even when I go on family trips, I still take my laptop. When I go back to visit home in Florida, I take my laptop and I'm working. But with them, I just totally disconnect. And so I'm so ready for that next week. We're going to the beach. So I'm just going to relax. And
Mhm.
like I said, I think I'm going through that transition period right now. Like I told you, I think God woke me up at 4 o'clock this morning and he just flooded my head with content. And I have been asking all week, like, what can I post? Like, what content should I be putting out here? And it just seems like it just started to flow. So I'm hoping that continues while on vacation, just like you experience when you're out there. So,
Exactly.
really good tip to just take the time to unplug and listen, not be trying to, think of it all on your own.
Right. Trying to go on vacation, trying to have a good time and work, and girl, you're doing too much.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get a little in your business. So what's the last big thing that happened to you or your business recently?
The last big thing, I would actually say, um, partnering with my husband's business, because he when he met me, I had the business and everything, and I never. People always say, well, if I'm an entrepreneur, so if you get with me, you're gonna be an assistant or something, and it
Hmm.
was like, no, I never forced that on him. Like, hey, you have to help me because this is what I do. I never forced that on him. And then one day he just came to me and was like, well, hey, I want to start my own business. And I was like, okay, so this how you can start your website. You doing all of that by yourself. I'd help you. But this what you're gonna do. And walking through that whole process with him and then kind of stepping back because, now he's a full-time trucker, so he's gone 5 days out of the week. So I primarily have to run that business as well. So of course I'm like, how can I streamline this and make it easier, for the both of us? And
Yeah.
just kind of combining our companies still separate but together, and just being able to create new products for him and teach him how to do things, and then kind of being able to push both brands together to kind of complement each other, then that's been like one of the biggest things that's happened, but recently, because
Yeah.
um it's just one of those things that it it pushed me to do more for artistics, to bring some products back that I kind of discontinued, to switch up how we're doing some things. So it's like pretty much we're going through a whole rebranding, transitioning type thing
Yeah.
in its own time. So it's not like anything we're forcing, rushing, or pushing. It's just like it'll just evolve as it should.
Just
But
natural flow.
but that's fun, kind of, working to see how that's all gonna come together. So
I love it. Oh, that has to be fun. That has to be fun. And you guys just got married. What, like a year? Are you going on a year now?
no, actually 6 months. We got married in November.
Yeah, I know. I just saw the pictures on Facebook not too long ago. So that has to
Mhm.
be exciting. Oh,
Yes.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So before I let you go, because that was my last question, I want I want to make sure that everyone knows how to support you in all of the different ways.
Mhm.
So how do we find you on social media? How do we find your website? Tell us all the good stuff.
Ooh, so let me run down the list. Okay, websites. Um, as far as everything, because even though, we have these our different websites, they all go to the same thing. They are directed to the main website, which is www.rubydartistry, RUBIDARTISTRY.com. And from there, you can find my books, you can find my skincare products, you can find products from my husband's beard and Huncho Growth and Care. Um, and then on Instagram, you can find me under Ruby D Artistry. That's like my main page. For skincare, um, just type in Artistics Natural Body Care. Um, for His page, Shop Huncho GC. Facebook, of course, Ruby L. Now Davenport. That's where I am. Um, yeah, we're on TikTok, Ruby the Artistry. You know, I'm trying to get into that now.
Me
I'm
too.
posting a little bit.
I'm not dancing
Um,
though. I ain't doing no TikTok dances, but
no,
I'm
I'm not doing no dances either. You know, I might kind of, do some a little bit here and there, you know, but it's mainly about just randomness.
yeah, yeah. One thing I love
Um,
about TikTok so far
Facebook
is
business page, Artistics Natural Body Care, Ruby D Artistry, Shop Punch OGC. So it's pretty much the same there. I'm on YouTube, uh, Ruby D. You can type in youtube.com/Ruby Davidson. My YouTube channel will come up there. I actually have quite a bit of videos on there from when I was actually working more in discussing about mental health. I had my internet radio show for a full year, so all of those shows are
oh,
there.
okay,
I
okay.
know it's yes.
You're just a
Uh
jack of a Jill of all trades.
yes, I did a Facebook live every Sunday called Soul Sunday. So those videos are there and it's just a lot of information that's there.
Okay.
So
So
that's everything I think.
think so. Okay. To make it easier, where all the places that I'm going to post this: YouTube, check the description. Inside our private group, check the caption. I will make sure all the links are there so that you guys can find Ruby D. And yeah, I want to thank you so much for joining me, especially in the middle of your vacation, especially when you don't normally do any working. I know you've been up
Okay,
since
dear.
4 a.m. traveling. So thank you so much for giving me this time. I love the tips
Welcome.
that you've given. I think you really do help the ladies in the group to kind of connect with themselves spiritually. And I can't wait to work with you more. We got to get you in for another training session soon.
Of course, of course, of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And it's okay because once I go on this vacation and enjoy this cruise for a whole 7 days,
Oof,
I
I'm
cannot
jealous.
wait. I cannot wait.
Where are you? Where are you going to stop along the way?
Well, we're leaving from Galveston, Texas, the port of Galveston. Then we go to um Mahogany Bay. I think it's
Ooh,
considered Honduras, I think.
okay.
And then I think I'm pronouncing this right. Falmouth, Jamaica, Falmouth, Jamaica,
Okay.
and then Cozumel.
Ah, I'm excited. That's where
So
I want to go.
it's a new ship for me and my mom. We're on Carnival Vista, and it's a ship that we've been wanting to get on for a minute because, of course, going on a cruise, leaving from the same states, you're gonna repeat the same stops and things like that. So, we try to explore the different ships to see which ones we like, and Carnival is definitely our cruise line.
Okay.
So, yeah, this will be a new ship for us. So, yeah,
Ah,
I'm sure we'll be back.
yeah. I can't wait to see pictures and stuff. That sounds so exciting. So exciting.
I'm gonna try to take pictures this time. I just be so caught up in enjoying the vacation. I rarely take selfies, but I'm trying to get better because for my melanin cruise lovers, I want to
Yeah.
start posting a bit more content there. So I'm like, okay, I gotta take
Oh,
some
yeah.
pictures
You
and
got to shout
videos
out
this
that group
time.
too. You got to shout that out because I'm in there because I'm a beginner cruiser. And so, yeah. What's the name of it again?
Melanin cruise lovers.
On Facebook. It's a Facebook group, and
Yes.
she's given us all of the ins and outs of deals and or how to get deals. So you guys join that as well if you're ready to travel, especially my full-time entrepreneurs. Let's all get together and get on a cruise and have some fun.
Yes.
Take a break.
Yes.
All right. Well, you get back to your vacation, and I will be seeing you in 7 or 8 days in the group.
I would definitely be there. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye.